morning, everyone, and welcome to Torrens Park campus for E-News this week, which I am thrilled to welcome back Zoe and Tom, our vice captains from last year. They are here today to talk to me about a really special project we do at the end of every year called the Year 12 Legacy Project. It's something that we started a couple of years ago as a way to connect with our friends at Point Pearce and also the Narungga people on the Yorke Peninsula. I'll let Zoe and Tom explain a little bit about the project, but we took a group of Year 12s over as a way of finishing their time at Scotch College, and we're pretty proud of our legacy project. Zoe, tell us about what was the most impactful part of it for you. What do you remember most?
I think one of the most special things that we got to do was spend time with the Point Pearce community, and especially the kids. We got to go make some brekkie with them at their school, and that was just extremely special because we spent like a couple hours there, and over time you could just feel the trust and the connection build up over time. Like, obviously you get there for the first time and they're a bit nervous, they don't know who you are, and by the end of it they were crying because we were leaving and waving at the school bus and chasing us as we were leaving, and we were like teary because we didn't want to leave them either. So I think that was definitely the most special part for me, and I think a lot of our crew felt the exact same way because it was just very soul-touching and very important for us to have that experience, I think.
It's amazing what sort of connection you can make actually in just a few hours. Tom, what do you remember about the trip?
What I remember the most fondly about the trip is the on-country experience with Shane, a Narungga elder. So on the first day we had the privilege to sit down with Shane, who his and his generation have been through so much, and sort of show us around the local area, learn some insightful things about how they did, and just show some aspects of the culture there that we weren't really aware of.
I think it's important to sort of frame that this is a one-night experience that we do at the end of Year 12 for a select group of kids or kids that want to be part of it. Shane takes us through an on-country experience, which we think is really important when we first arrive to sort of frame what is to come. We have a community dinner that night with the teachers from the Point Pearce School and friends in the local community and elders that join us for a meal. And then the next day is all about the children at Point Pearce and building those connections and probably serving that community in a way that is really special. And this year, what did we give, or do you remember what we left as a gift, Tom?
So this year we left a couple of barbecues.
Yep.
And some sort of food preparing items so that the people down there can also do the same sort of thing we did, in the sense of, have a breakfast, host some things in order to, get some sense of community, or have a special breakfast for some of the people down there. Yeah,
so food's really important, bringing people together and having that space. The year before, we donated basketball hoops because that was, something that was a bit lacking at the school, and we bought one for the school and one for the community centre. Zoe, why would you encourage our current Year 12s to get around the Legacy Project this year, given that they've finished school, they've finished exams, they could be on a beach in Robe, but instead they go on a bus with Mrs. Grave to the Yorke Peninsula? Why would you want to do that?
I think for me, it was just a really eye-opening experience. It's the kind of thing that you can't do later, and coming back to spend time with people you've just graduated with. We have our exams and then we don't have a lot of time after that, so coming back as a group to do something special for other people when we've just spent probably a year doing a lot of it for each other and ourselves, giving back to the community in a way that's very outwardly focused and is not here, I think is really, really special.
I think for us, we know that Year 12 is such a massive year, but sometimes at the end you can almost feel a bit lost because you're in that weird period before results come out, before uni placements come out, before Christmas. And we think at Scotch it's a great opportunity to sort of fill that gap a little bit and do something meaningful and impactful. And, I think it speaks to one of our strategic pillars around learning in partnership, and we are really committed to our work with Point Pearce, Yorke Peninsula and the Narungga people. And our friends at Point Pearce, we give them a bit of a shout out, and we're looking forward to doing it again this year.